Okay, so for everybody, please never think that any question is a stupid question, because no question is a stupid question. Asking, not asking any question is stupid thing to do, but any question is genuine question because it comes from your quest, it comes from your seeking. And sometimes we don't value our questioning ability or our questions, and but when we trust them, when we start with them, when we start giving them importance and giving importance to find the answers, they lead us to amazing journeys, they lead us to amazing paths. And this has always happened in the history with all humanity, no matter which direction they wanted to go, what avenue the question was targeting. It all always starts with a question. Right.
So I have one question now.
Wonderful. I have to motivate you guys.
So is it practically possible to remain in Turiya Avastha in like 24/7 in any situation, in extreme situation or in any sort of situation?
All right.
Permanent establishment in Turiya Avastha, is it practically possible?
Yes, it is. So, to everybody, first of all, you introduce yourself to the Sangha and then I answer your question.
Hi all, my name is Shunyam and I did my 100 hours in 200 hours. And now I'm going to start my 300 hours in a day. And I've been associated with Devom. It's been almost 15 years. Good, proud 15 years, I should say that. And recently I joined this 100 hours and 200 hours training, which has really, I'm full of energy. In fact, my energy is just overflowing these days. Everybody is asking me around, what's wrong with you? How can you run around so much? So, yeah, this is the recent uh, thing that I've developed in my being, I've discovered in my being. Yeah.
Okay. So, everybody, Shunyam's the question is related with uh, an understanding I teach in 200 hour. I think those people who have done 200 hour around 2 years ago, probably they don't have this understanding covered in that lesson. But I think since 2 years I'm covering this every time in all the 200-hour trainings. So there is a state called Turiya in Indian spiritual path, which ideally means away from everything. Now, from everything also means in a spiritual sense being with yourself. So, Turiya means away from everything which is outside of you and which is inside of you, which makes you away from yourself, and being with yourself, being established with yourself, and being established in a very equanimity manner, that you are untouched, you are unshaken by all the things which are happening around you and which are making an impact on you on emotional and mental level, but beyond that you are still unshaken. Now this is something very beautiful. Our Upanishads in India have already been explaining them in a great depth, and this is what I teach there. So what she is asking about, that is it really possible for anybody to just be in that state all the time, because that state directly leads you to a state called moksha, which of course we are going to cover in 300 hour. So 200 hour is preparation for that. And yes, it is definitely possible. And if you remember that chapter, uh, I have already told you that Turiya Avastha or being in Turiya is a state of being, but you Don't mistake it as a state of acting or state of doing. So these are different. So state of being can be maintained even while you are in action. So your state of action is separate those three bubbles of active, sleep, and dreamy. And when you are established in your being in a Turiya state, you will. Right. You go into the dreamy bubble or sleeping bubble only when you get disconnected from your Turiya state of being. So now it is like that when you are in action, can you be at peace with yourself? When you are in action, can you be unmoving from inside, even when your body is moving? This is exactly what they teach in martial arts, in Tai Chi, in Qigong, all the Eastern martial arts and movement forms, or including in Gurdjieff's sacred movement, that when everything is moving, can you still be still inside? And yes, it is possible. This is what we say. That, like Sant Kabir, my favorite sant, I always quote him. He always said that I never acted upon anything, but I never refrained myself from any action. And this is amazing. So he says that from inside I never moved, I never acted upon anything, but I never refrained myself from any action that of course, my body or my role of that time was in action, playing all the roles, doing whatever is required to be done, and that is what is dharma. But inside, I was not acting anything. I was not moving or I was not making any action. Why he said that he is not making any action? Because again, he was not doer. And when he was not doer, he is not doing anything. Right, but the things are getting done as a channel or as a dharma, as a need of that moment. But you are not doing it as a doer. And that gives you freedom. And that gives you permanent establishment in your being, where you are away from everything and being with yourself. Right, so yes, it is possible. And you got the glimpses of that, and you will be getting more established in that as you would progress. Right.
Especially if somebody is angry or in extreme situation. Suppose somebody very close is just, being very ill, or, you are in that extreme situation. Then how to remain in that state? Like, that you are there and you're just doing action.
First of all, you have to understand and remember this very clearly, that you are in this body primarily for yourself. And because you are in this body for yourself, any other person in your life comes. The moment you will not be in this body, nobody would exist. Right? When you would not be in this body, who would you call the very nearest or dearest one? You can call somebody a nearest or dearest one because for a simple fact that you are existing in this body. You are existing in your being. Your being exists in this form, and then this form has to do some role play, or this form plays a role, and based on that role, you label somebody as nearest or dearest one. So the reason is you being in this body, your being here. If that would not be here, nobody would be there. So you have to understand and remember this thing at the core always. This is called Samasati, the last teaching of Buddha. Remember, be aware of it. The moment you are aware of it and you know that you are being closed with yourself, And all my nearest and dearest are there because you are. If you are not there, they are not there. So when you are established in yourself and you are there and you are home within yourself, you are calm, you know that I am this, then the next step, then you open the door of your functional consciousness to see what is happening around. Okay, my near and dear one is in some trouble. Then what is the required step? What is the dharma that time? The dharma is probably you need to do your role play with good responsibility and dedication and honesty. Great. Now, what would be that role play? If you are a mother, what is my role of a role play of a mother or a wife or a girlfriend or a sister or a daughter? Any role play, or a friend or a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. And what would be the best way to do that role play at this time, which would help the other? Because dharma only means doing what gives you a fruitful result in the moment. Dharma does not say what is right, what is wrong. Dharma says doing what gives you a fruitful result based on your understanding of harmony, love, peace, or whatever your value system is. Whatever will give you a fruitful result in that direction, in that moment. That is your dharma. So according to my role play, for example, if I am a mother, you are a mother, and your child is in some kind of trouble, you would do your role play completely as a mother, doing that thing which is going to help your child that moment, but that has nothing to do with your being with yourself. Your being with yourself will remain. But if you forget this that time, then you will function again in dreamy state or sleep state. But if you remember this, that I am, and this is my role play which I am doing in a very amazing manner, or I have to do it, which is going to help her, or at least I am not sure whether it is going to help her or him, but this is what I understand is the best to do from my capacity at this time. Then you are still in the Turiya, you are still connected with yourself, and you are functioning from the awake state in your functional consciousness, in your action zone. Okay, and that time, probably you said somebody is in pain, you take care of that person whatever way it is required, but not falling down in the trap of that a person need help and then you become so anxious that you get into the panic mode that you also need help. Then who will help who? You understand? Or if somebody is very angry, maybe logically angry, but if you love the person and maybe you think that right now if I just keep silent and let this wave of anger go away without me taking the impact of it, because it is actually not for me, it is actually because the person is very troubled from inside, and I pray or wish that may this person, my near or dear one, get sorted, and not trouble should come to that person, and he should get his own peace. So the anger would go and he should attain his peace. And because you feel that the person should attain the peace, you cannot act on the other person's peace by showing the anger yourself or by losing the peace yourself. And that is the approach of being your own master. Right? If you lose your peace, how would you plan to get the peace for the other? Right. Sometimes when you take a compassionate, a Zen master approach, You can force the person, or you can show the person the final block that enough is enough. Now this, but only when you can overpower that person, or when you get that courage. But in that also, you are not essentially losing your peace. You are just taking a strong step to show the direction, or to the person who is not able to see the direction, right direction, in your lenient approach. But taking a lenient approach or a strong approach has nothing to do with losing your own connection. It is separate. It has to be separate. You understand? And then everything is right. Then you are master. Right, guys? Any question in this? Yes, Pavani.
No.
Turiya, whatever you just now explained, is it about being completely aware, fully aware
Yeah.
of
In
what is
Turiya,
happening
you are
within and
aware.
outside?
In Turiya, you are aware about yourself. Maybe sometimes not very aware about things around, but aware about yourself. Yes. And when you actually start to become aware about yourself, what happens that you start to become aware, automatically you start to become aware about things which are relevant to you. Okay, and that is a very big thing. Mostly we don't know what is relevant to us, what is not relevant to us. We have this habit of jumping into everything. You know, suddenly we become activists for somebody else, which is not relevant or related to you, and you don't even understand the full thing, but you make your judgment and you jump in. Sometimes you become excited about something which is just uh, appearing not very good or pleasant to you, but you just want to be party of it somehow, even in your disgusting feeling, even if in your sad feeling. If you are in Turiya, if you are aware about yourself, you will not get involved what leaks your energy. Remember our first exercise of gainers and leakers. If you are in Turiya, you will not remain in a leaking zone. You will remain whatever it is. I'm not saying you will be shutting your eyes with the world. No, never. You would be more aware about whatever is happening around the world, whatever is relevant to you, how it is working, but you will not be leaking the energy by unfruitful struggles. As I explained the difference between a hustle and a struggle, that when you hustle, you do it for a purpose and you achieve something, or you grow, or you transform, or you learn. That all is hustle. Struggle is when you are not getting any results, when you don't have any plan also to get any result, or you are not doing anything what is required to actually get the result, but you are just struggling. And mostly we live a life like this at various levels. But the moment you have a plan, or you have a organized action, or you understand the situation, you understand your situation, you understand the gap, you understand how to improve yourself to achieve the result, then it becomes hustle. Right? So if you are in Turiya, you would do hustle, you will not do struggle. In hustle, even if it appears on the front end similar as struggle, but you are not leaking your energy because you are putting in the effort in a direction. Right?
So we get a little towards the neutral within ourselves, not going with the emotion, and be with ourselves, right?
I am, well, this may sound as if you are saying that then we don't take care of our emotions. I am not saying that. When you
No, no,
are
no.
with yourself, when you are deeply aware about yourself, you become actually more sensitive towards your feelings and thoughts. But you don't become slave of your feelings and thoughts. This is
Yeah, we don't
different.
get immersed into it. We are
You
aware of it.
you if you want to get, then you will get. You will know why what you are doing, what you are doing. It's not that some feeling come and you are just following it like in a hypnotic sleep, right? You will know why it is coming, what is the reason. Probably I am the reason. I can fix it just like this, you know. It's all about being your master, and your mastership starts from your own emotions, your own feelings, and your own thoughts. Otherwise the entire world lives in a certain level of inception. All our thoughts, mostly all, especially for sleepy and dreamy people, for sleepy people, 100%, almost 100% of thoughts and feelings. For sleepy people, maybe 80% of thoughts and feelings are incepted from outside, not yours originally. Whatever is your thought pattern, whatever is your feeling pattern, how you react or how would you normally think about a situation, if you keep going behind that, that how I actually started feeling what I started feeling, from where it came. Sometimes you need to go back to your childhood, sometimes you need to go back to your conditioning, sometimes you need to go back to your social structure, sometimes you need to go back to your parents, sometimes you need to go back to your education. From where you picked that up, ultimately you will find it's all incepted. Nothing is yours. You just developed yourself with that. Actually, you have never developed yourself, you just got developed with that. Right? So, when we become our master and when we start to become more sensitive and aware about our own feelings and emotions and thoughts, we start to pass them through a certain kind of checkpoint of our awareness, that is this really required? What it is doing to me? Is it healthy for me or is it toxic for me? Is it making me a more loving person or is it making me a bitter person? Is it making me more happy, healthy soul or is it making me more frustrated soul? When you start putting this check points in all your thoughts and emotions, you realize what is good for you, what is not, and you start to organize them. I mean, it's an automated process. I mean, it looks like, oh, there's a lot of work because maybe I think more than 50,000 thoughts a day, but it's not work at all. It is an automated process. It starts happening automatically. You automatically start to get this idea that no, it's not good for me. I should not think like this. It is making me a bitter person, but I don't want to be a bitter person. So, an aware person can decide whether there is a clear logic and reason that, oh, the other person has done this thing bad to me, and I have to fill with anger or resentment for that person. Still your awareness will tell you, okay, I agree, the logic is there, but what it is making you then? If it is making you a bitter person, would you like to be a bitter person? And then if you say, oh, yeah, actually, am I really like to be a bitter person? And then if you say, no, I don't want to be a bitter person, then you would say, oh, then it's okay, I would not like to fill myself with resentment or anger for the person. Yeah, I would be more aware. I would love to save myself, but not live with some kind of resentment because I don't want to be a bitter person. This is awareness. This is mastership. Right?
It has not been so easy for me these days because my mom is a little is sick and I have to take care of her. So what you were talking about today about helping others, but also trying to maintain our balance so we don't get sick also and we can be able to help. This is something that I think I've been mature enough to be handling because I think that before, if this would have happened, I would have gotten sick also. So I haven't gotten not even a flu or anything. I've been like trying to flow with what's going on. It's not been easy, but I've been handling it until now. So I think it's not the happiest moment in my life. Not near too happy, but I'm handling it. So I think that's okay.
Yes, Melissa, it's actually uh, good that you share this, and of course, you will do it nicely. Keep doing it, keep flowing through this also, because this too shall pass. But the thing is that the biggest jumps and transformations in our life usually don't come in happy moments. They come when we are kind of shaken or when we are supposed to be shaken. It depends on us how we cross through that. But that is when they come. This is the rule of the universe, life. We cannot do anything with that. And that is exactly why everybody's life is full of different opportunities where you're supposed to be shaken. But
Yeah.
that is also the moment of deep learning. And these moments are also, if you listen to me very carefully and if you remember this, these moments will make you more human and will develop great patience inside you. Because this is what I can see already in you happening. And I want you to realize this.
Yes, I have been learning a lot of patience actually. It's not easy to take care of someone else. I have to understand this person's needs, but sometimes it's too much, and I gotta learn how to be patient. It's not gonna happen from one day to another. So yeah.
Well, this is your role right now, which universe has chosen for you. You have accepted it, or you have also chosen to play. Do it nicely. Play it well when you're playing it, right? And you're doing good. You're gonna be proud of yourself. Your mom will be, and your mom will recover fast. Your energy
So.
should be so amazing for her that she recover half from her own energy and half from your energy. Would be amazing, right?
Yeah.
God bless you both.
Good. Thank you. You too.
Thank you. All right. Who is there? Yes, Pranavi.
Hi, sir. Hello, everyone.
Hello. How are you doing?
And I'm doing great. And my my continuation to talking to people is also going very great.
Mm-hmm.
That they really wanted to talk, and I'm also able to spend time with them.
Mm-hmm.
So two people were like they completely resolved their mental pressure condition that they underwent when they lost couple of 7 years back. One person was expressing that he disconnected with a few of the closest members of his life, and now he is able to come out of that situation very easily. I don't know how, but it just happened, and he expressed very much gratitude with me last week.
Mm-hmm.
I felt happy for him,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I also thought that why would somebody lose such a great person? I really felt this person as a very, very great person. I really felt a connect with that person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to express, but I felt happy indeed in connecting with that person. Usually, these days, these months, I was like, the other opposite persons are able to receive some help, but this time it went like he was able to get the help or come out of the situation on his own personal side. But from my end, I really felt happy to feel a connect with him. I couldn't express, but I acknowledged that thanks for connecting. So that much.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Pranavi is the one who is really consistently doing the heart-to-heart listening sessions with people, helping them, and this is a very beautiful example of how this magic of channeling works, which I always talk about. We are not doing anything ever. We just need to become a pure channel. And through you, once you become a pure channel with your complete transparency and purity, and this prayer in your heart, this purity in your heart, that may the other person get healed or get connected with the divine energy or get the solution or whatever it is, just this simple intention which makes you purify, of course, in your heart also, you become a pure channel. And then sometimes a person who is lost is not able to connect with the divine, with universe, with its own synchronicity directly. And that time that person, the lost person, needs a channel to connect with a higher source of energy. And you become that channel. Even if you don't know how to do it, what to say, just simple listening like you were doing. You were not trying to coach the person or guide the person, but magic is happening, and it's been now 6 months and we all are seeing this. Many incidences now, right, Pranavi? Many incidences.
Yeah.
And why every
Yeah.
time it is happening so beautifully? Because you are being a pure channel, which is your power, which is also now your responsibility. Because whatever is our power is our responsibility, right? So your purity must not get contaminated ever. That is one. And this is the magic of being a pure channel. Divine is getting the way to reach to that lost person through you, and that person is getting the way to reach to divine, to connect with divine, and things happen. Sometimes you are just like a waterfall. I always say this: water coming from somewhere, going somewhere. You are just a waterfall. You don't need to care what's happening to whom. You are just connecting, right? And this is the magic of this, and this is beautiful. This is very fulfilling, because this is bringing you your purpose of being there, right? Complete selfless. And this is beautiful. Every day we must do something good to ourselves, and every day we must do something good to other, without needing or thinking about anything in result. Not even a thanks, not even an appreciation, not even that the other person should know that you are doing something good. Nobody needs to know that you are doing something good, because that good act is the real good act. Whenever you need to tell the person that you have done good to the person, or whenever you expect at least a thanks or appreciation, it is not that pure. Yeah, well, there are degrees of impurity. You keep it still 90% pure, or 80%, or 70%, or 60%, or 50%. But how amazing it is when it is always 100% pure. That is Vishuddha, purest. Just like an actor, right? So let's keep it that way.